want to say good afternoon to those that are here and those that will be watching via our social media methods. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the clergy. One of the things that I found so riveting about Dr. King and the clergy of his time was the fact that Dr. King had a purpose that he was willing to die for. Amen. Clergy today have all but become soft and pliant. They can be moved by every wind and doctrine. If you look back at the time for which Dr. King stood, he had to deal with the current FBI director, whose name was Herbert Hoover. He sought to silence Dr. King because he had personal life issues. And those issues that Dr. King had did not reflect what Herbert Hoover thought was worthy of respect. Herbert Hoover hated the changing times. He hated the demographic changes that were coming. He hated the fact that Dr. King was trying to move a nation of people from the current Jim Crow era to some sense of equality. Amen. And he fought it with a vengeance. He disliked the fact that Dr. King had, if you will, a relationship with the current president at the time, and he sought to disrupt that. Fast forward to today. Current administration has sought to silence the majority and the will of the majority of Americans relative to this past election. Doesn't take rocket science, doesn't take individuals with degrees to understand that. He sought, and that movement sought to subvert the will of the people. But like King was not silenced, neither should we be silenced about our stand for equality. We must still fight, not necessarily for unity, because what generally happens is we're so interested in hand-holding, so interested in partnering, when the truth of the matter is what we need to do is understand the importance of equality and unity, but also see vividly how we need to build our own communities. We need to vividly look at the importance of seeing one another as human beings. We can quote Dr. King from now till kingdom come. But until such time as what he said has become a part of what we believe, because belief is empty if it has no action. Amen. Even in our beliefs with God, to have faith without works, it's called dead. And therefore, when Dr. King stood against all odds to bring together and unify just before his death, just before he was killed tragically, he came to the knowledge that he had led his people to a burning building. He said this out of his own mouth. He had led his people to a burning building because while he was trying to, we shall overcome and unify and hold hands and bring all of these things together, we were still oppressed economically. Yes. We still didn't have the same opportunities. And immediately following that, he was killed. But we don't want to talk about that today. We want all the kumbaya. We want the hand holding and the arms together. When the truth of the matter is, we appreciate our brothers and sisters of other ethnicities. Amen. We appreciate the work that the fire department does and the police department does and all of the first responders, and we appreciate that. But when it's all said and done, we got to find the same guts that he had.
Amen.
Where we're willing to stand for what is right within our own community. Even if we're not appreciated by people of other ethnicities, we have to do it, because if we don't, we'll find ourselves in this position again. I love my brothers and sisters in law enforcement. I love individuals who are in authority that make the decisions on behalf, if you will, of our country. I love them. I pray for them. I pray for our current president. I'm praying for the president to come. I'm praying for those administrations. But until we wake up to the fact that we have work to do, we'll be doing this for the next 10 years, trying to figure it out. Dr. King figured it out. He was killed.
Amen.
He figured it out that we have to have economic unity. We have to have economic positioning. We have to have those things. Not just conversate. It's more than conversation. And when we get to that place, you'll begin to see the necessary racial equality we seek for. Because we only come together on Dr. Martin Luther King's day. And until such time as we can do this on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis, we'll not see what Dr. Martin Luther King desired. And until then, I am grateful for today, grateful for his legacy, grateful for the words, grateful for the quotes, grateful for the connections. But I am looking forward to more tangible opportunities for us as a people to together rise up and become what God has called us to be. Amen. Thank you for this time. Amen. Thank you for this space. God bless you. Just for clarity, I wanted to say for those that may be watching, it is J. Edgar Hoover. I said Herbert Hoover, but it's J. Edgar Hoover, who was the FBI director at the time of Dr. King. J. Edgar Hoover rather than Herbert. God bless you.